I believe there are 3 reasons why this knife may see more use than almost any other fixed blade in your rotation. And I know that that is a big statement. And I'll argue that if you are new to fixed blades and you're trying to consider what knife, you should maybe start with, this I think should be on the short list for those 3 reasons that we're going to unpack today. And we're going to have a ton of fun doing it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another gear review here at the channel. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. And we got so much to unpack. Not only use competitive options in the size range to give us kind of food for thought. So, I mean, how did this journey start? Where did I come to this conclusion? Because I've been chewing on it since I bought this knife a few months back. Because it's a BPS knife. Now, you may not be familiar with BPS knives. BPS knives is based in Ukraine. They make their knives in Ukraine. And what they're usually known for are high-quality leather sheaths, basic carbon steels like 1066, and pinned or bolted on wood handles. So they have a very rustic vibe. They're using budget materials, but they execute it really well and just have a really unique footprint in the knife space. And you do get a lot for your money when you look at a BPS knife. So that's kind of their MO. I'm cruising on Amazon a few months back, and I see this knife, which is the beta, the BPS beta. Everyone wants to be an alpha. No one wants to be on the beta test. The beta. Alpha males, beta males? I don't know. This ain't a beta male knife, as you're about to find out. I don't know why they chose beta. But what stood out to me right away is the fact that they got a polymer sheath when they're usually using leather. Okay, that could be good or bad. We've seen some bad ones in the past and some really epic ones. 2, they're using deep purple, micarta, checkered micarta, and finally, D2 tool steel. That is a tool steel, when properly heat treated and rock weld, can be an awesome performer. I've had great success when it's done right on multiple different tools, and they've done an HRC of 60 to 61, which I think is right there with some really good other blades that I've tested in the past. So potentially there is a lot to go for as long as the price is right. And that's the first reason why this might see the most use. You won't be afraid to get down and dirty with it. $70. That's what I paid for this knife. $70 is the going rate on this model currently over on Amazon. I will link my Amazon store. You can always go check out those affiliate links along with the competitive options we're going to talk about and other stuff that you may see throughout the video. You can always check those out. Appreciate it when you do. And I know right now BPS is running a sale where they're $55 on their site, but with international shipping, it ends up being about $70 anyway, within a few bucks. So it's just makes sense to go through Amazon if you live in the States, but if you are one of our overseas viewers, go check it out. You might be able to save a little bit of scratch, especially if you're located in Europe. So value, number one, value, man. It's so hard these days to find good blades under $100. It's just almost impossible to do. And these materials speak to potentially really good value. So that's numero uno. Second is carrying. Leather is awesome, but it really leaves you with usually only about one choice: belt carry, dangle, something like that. This is an ABS polymer, so it's not Kydex. Kydex is usually rated as like better, more durable, but I've seen over a long period of time, several months now, good success with this. It's very moldable, locks it into place. It's just not quite as rigid as Kydex usually. What they did is they give you lots of lashing options. They give you drainage holes. It comes with a Blade Tech lock. If I can do it, there we go. There you go. So you can lash it on your belt, vertical, horizontal. You can run it on a backpack strap, or you can do your own ulti-clips, molly locks, run it any which way you want. Some companies need to freaking take note of that, like Benchmade and K-Bar recently, not giving us any freaking good attachments to put on our belts and carry in different ways. So you don't really have to do anything to trick it out and get using it and get carrying it in multiple arenas. Now, in just a moment, we're going to really start thumping on this to see how the D2 holds up, how does that really stack up, and why would I say that this is going to get so much use? Like, so far, so what? Okay, so before we get to that third and final reason, let's just see how this sucker performs. And what I really appreciate is the fact that we have a 3.9-inch blade with a 0.12 or eighth of an inch thick 3mm spine which is unusual. Most companies end up making freaking crowbars, especially when they are trying to cut costs to save themselves from potential, damage and breakage in a knife. They freaking make them like 3/16 or a 1/4 inch at this size range, and they're not unusable. This thing, slicey with the half saber grind. I mean, it goes up half. It's a 1 1/4 inches from edge to spine at its maximum point. And when I started working with this tool, for finesse, it's excellent. Carving, feather sticking, cordage, food prep, all of it, because of the 1/8 of an inch thick and half a high saber grind, it's just this really beautiful blend we just almost never see of grind to strength and geometry and stock thickness that I was just really, really happy with. So that right out of the gate really did well. Factory edge is what you're seeing here. It's totally doing what it should, both in EDC tasks, everyday carry, cardboard cutting, and utility. Piercing, stabbing, that was a big question for me with D2 steel. Is this thing it's got a little bit of meat behind the tip, totally can handle piercing, penetrate well with some good lateral. Don't treat it like a crowbar, but it definitely held up to our 2x4 test. And because of the way they did the classic drop point with no swedging, means that I can put my thumb right up there to control the tip, but it also pierces better than you might think, and it's not this really rounded, kind of blunt instrument, better for camping. It has great woodscraft design in the blade, but also some really good defensive tipped strength and geometry as well. 90-degree spine launches and like just flamethrowers, dragon level sparks off of your ferrule rod. Absolutely will do that. And then it's only 3.9 inches, so smaller kindling, if you're shaping a piece of wood, light hacking, side splitting, it absolutely held up to everything, and I was so pleased with very minor, just little tiny burrs after everything I did. And that's where something like, say, a SHARPAL, I know you guys always think that this is a knife a knife. It is not. It is a sharpener. So the scabbard is a leather strop, and then underneath that you have a coarse and ultra-fine diamond stone with a paracord wrap. It just really allows for good grip. You can hold it in your hand a lot easier than some other ones that you kind of have to set somewhere. This thing is a freaking awesome way, and I just honed this thing so easily. Just definitely not chipping out, holding up to all sorts of abuse, and definitely outperforming the 1066 steel in wear resistance that they usually use. So I will say the D2 absolutely there. Ergonomics are excellent. I would say so what would be my critique with the knife before we get to that third and final point? It's just the purple. It's dark purple. I think these would sell like hotcakes if they started doing some different handle colors. OD green, coyote tan micarta, start offering those as well. These things, I don't think they'll be able to keep in stock like ever. The purple is kind of that's probably why a lot of people are like, so do a different color palette, man, and we're off to the races. But I think it's totally fine. It kind of gives it a unique color palette and is a little bit higher vis if you dropped it down in the woods or whatever. Okay, so that third, final reason, it's the size, dude. After seeing the performance, after seeing the materials and how it all fits together ergonomically, carrying, okay, this crosses a bridge, and I think is one of the most functional pack knives, meaning you could pack it in. Because the knife itself, my scale, their numbers seem way off than mine. My scale is saying 5.8 ounces for the knife and about 9.5 for the whole package, including the Blade Tech lock on the back. Very lightweight for what it is. And it's big enough and durable enough to do everything short of massive batoning and huge chopping in the woods. I would totally use this for everything that you're going to do. There is so much crossover capability that you could use this for an everyday carry knife, but you could also use it as an adventure knife to go on hiking trips, backpackers. If you're a backpacker and you just want like a compact fixed blade and you don't want to trust a folder, I think this is absolutely a great option. And so I think this size, and when we talk about all the mounting options, the ergonomics, the steel choice and how it all works, and the grind geometry, and then the price, so you're not afraid that you're going to lose it. You're not spending $400 on a knife, and you're just like, I don't know if I'm going to use this blade. I can beat on this knife. Worst case scenario, it's less than $100 to replace it if I lose it, or it does, I do something stupid and I break it. I don't think you could, but if you did, right? So all of those things coming together, I think that if you use this knife, I would bet you that you take a little folding saw with you, camping, you're gonna be hard pressed to really find a need for a bigger knife unless you are just like honking, splitting stuff that big and chopping down, you know, stuff as big as your arm. And, you know, for EDC, yeah, you can find lighter, smaller stuff, but, you know, carry a little pocket knife for that, or maybe even like a utility, you know, a little utility razor for the really fine stuff. Put it in your 5th coin pocket, carry this bad boy for general EDC tasks. Heck yeah, let's go. Okay, competitive options. The KNAFS large LULU, almost identical in size, full flat grind, A2 steel, pinned in micarta. I mean, it's a higher quality overall tool, but the full flat grind, some people will love, some people might not. 90-degree spine, excellent blade, very similar, but not quite as tactical. It's more ergonomic for just camping. That's why I really like this deep guard. And locked in for stabbing, piercing, but also can just do woodscraft all day. This does have a kydex sheath where you can get leather, but you know, you have to buy like 3 of these. I think these go for, I know it's more than 200. I'll annotate it in if I can. I'll have links to this guy as well. Video coming soon on this. But that is a great alternative, kind of in that same size range that I think in a lot of ways could do similar. And then previously discussed the SIDEKICK from Off Grade Knives is very similar in size. It's really beefy, full grip, a little bit smaller, recurve, Sandvik 14C28N, but great kydex as well, belt clip, lots going on there, and those are about the same cost. No, maybe a few dollars less, maybe like 65 bucks on this one. Taiwanese made in Taiwan for those. So that is another just kind of competitor for you guys to think about. But there it is, guys. The BPS Beta, phenomenal. Hope to see some more handle color combinations, and I would argue, I think everyone should have that in rotation, and I bet you if you take it out a few times, you're going to be hard-pressed to find the need, maybe the want, it's totally fine, but the need for all these big different sizes and 50 different blades. Could really eliminate some tools there for you. So, appreciate you guys. Leave a comment if you are new to the knife world. I always kind of think that we're just talking to knife lovers, but you know, we got new people coming in all the time. So, check out the other video, subscribe, become part of the GT crew here. Appreciate you guys so much. Till next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. I'll see you out there.